Hello, this is Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. Our co-host, the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce President Bill Morton, can't be with us here today. He has to meet an important deadline. I am Trudy Leong, Administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. Our very special guest today is artist Gabi Bozeman. Welcome, Gabi.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here.
Awesome.
So first of all, what kind of art do you do?
Yeah, so I do surrealist, bold, colorful portraiture. Portraits that tap into different aspects of the mind and the human experience, hoping that everybody can gain a little something from that.
I've seen samples of your work, and are those self portraits? Because usually it's a face, right?
Yeah.
And then yes.
So they're not self-portraits, but they are a version of myself, a version of my personality. So I do feel like certain aspects of my features may come out in it unintentionally, but it's definitely a version of myself, I would say.
And is there any caricature in those portraits?
No particular character, but there is one that I'm starting to focus in on, and it's a character I created for Twilight in Bloom. It's a piece that I created recently that taps into seeing the world in a childlike wonders, appreciating the beauty in the small things in the world. And it's a fun, vibrant being that has, a nice fun mask and glasses and just colorful. And so it's something that hopefully everybody can enjoy.
Mm-hmm. So when Twilight in Bloom, that sounds like seeing flowers in the moonlight.
Yeah.
So have you tried different variations of that and then settled on twilights? For instance, at dusk, what do blooms look like at dusk or at dawn?
I feel like Twilight in Bloom was a title that I picked because that is a particular time of the day that it's just fascinating. It's filled with magic. It's filled with wonder. And I think it's something that since I was a child, I always was able to appreciate. And so seeing that in bloom, I think of, okay, this is a new day, something that's another beautiful aspect of the world. So that's why I chose that particular title.
Mm-hmm. And it seems as if you're reflecting on your emotions. Is it easier to reflect during the twilight?
Yes, I would definitely say so. It's definitely a very introspective time of the day, a time when things can be quite quiet and you are sitting with your thoughts and with how you feel as an individual. And so a lot of that does come out through my portraits in different ways.
Seems as if during twilight there's not that much of a rush.
Exactly. Things are calm, the world is still, and that's what we like.
How were you introduced to art?
So I actually just recently got into art in 2024. So it's something that's quite new to me, this experience, but it's taken off in a way that I could not have imagined. I think we all innately have some artistic ability, and it's something that I just recently tapped into, and I was encouraged to continue on with, and it's become less of a hobby and more of a passion, which I love.
So who introduced you to art?
Yes, I have one of my good friends. He's an amazing artist in the city. His name is Air Porter. He is one of my best friends, and I consider him one of my teachers as well. So he got me back into art, and he helped me refine my skill. So it's been amazing. Yeah.
So in other words, the two of you were in art together, studies somehow before, but then now you've returned to it.
So he's been doing art for years, for 10 years, and it shows in like how amazing he is as an artist. I'm so new to this still, and I just happen to be able to refine my skill to the point that it is at now. But it's been so fun getting to learn different aspects of art and seeing how that's been evolving over the past year.
And when was your first major break? What was your first audience or showing?
Yeah, so I started, ironically enough, I started in October, and my first show was actually in March of 2025. So it was a very quick turnaround. And since then, I've had over 17 shows. And most recently, I had the mural project that I just recently completed that's in Uptown. And it's been a very amazing experience. And I feel like since then, things have continued to take off in an amazing direction.
Tell us a little bit about your mural project. How did you have to apply for it? What happened?
Yeah, so I reached out to the Uptown Chamber of Commerce. They're amazing, and they're all about, as is the rest of Chicago, about creating this visual experience and helping to beautify these neighborhoods. And it's a part of the Yard Walls Mural Project, and it's in support of all these local women-owned businesses throughout Uptown. So just creating a space for women to be highlighted and stepping in and making a piece that creates introspective moments for people to stop and really appreciate not only the business, but appreciate the art.
What was on the wall before your mural?
Yes, it was a beautiful abstract piece. Unfortunately, the original artist, she did end up moving to Denver, and so she wasn't, and it was defamed in the process, sadly. So they were looking for opportunities to bring that life back to the neighborhood, and I noticed the residents and the community was extremely excited that something new was being put there and put in place. So yeah.
Did you have to protect the surface before you started painting?
I did. So I did prime the surface and make sure everything was, good to go before I started laying down the paint. And so making sure that everything is protected and it will last the test of time.
How are you able to keep that paint from cracking during the winter or blistering during the summer?
Yeah, so I use a protective sealant called Mural Guard. So everyone should try to use that or Mural Shield for their paintings to make sure that it stays protected through UV rays, through weather, and it protects through graffiti damage as well.
So that previous artist's the face work that wasn't protected.
Most likely not, due to the aftermath of people. They did try to clean up the graffiti, but unfortunately it just ended up damaging the work further, sadly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But at least now we have your work, and of course there are other artists. She's probably doing something else in Denver now.
Yeah, exactly. And she's amazing herself. So definitely stop by Uptown and let me know what you think of the piece, because I would love to hear everyone's thoughts.
And where is the piece so that our viewers could locate it?
Of course. So it's located at 4500 North Broadway in Uptown, right on the main corner of Broadway and Sunnyside. So it's the first piece there, and let me know your thoughts.
Well, what have your audience's thoughts been?
So they've absolutely loved it. Even just the duration of me creating the piece, the community was the most supportive I've ever experienced in my life. I've never had such an interactive, amazing experience. I got to talk with people from all walks of life, from all parts of the neighborhood, and it was something that was enjoyable for everybody. It was a process for everyone involved, not just myself.
What about while you were painting? Did the neighborhood engage with you?
Absolutely. I've made so many new friends along the way. It was so much love and support towards the project. I think people truly do value art, and they do love seeing things they like seeing their neighborhood beautiful, and they want to see color. They want to see all of these amazing aspects, and they were really sad when the original one did get defamed. So everyone was stopping with so many questions, from grandmothers and their granddaughters to husbands and wives to aspiring artists. It was an absolutely incredible experience.
What about the local businesses after your installation was finished? Did they have any comments on it? Did they get more foot traffic?
Absolutely. So Sunflower Cafe, they absolutely loved it. I've created pieces for them before, and they have been the most supportive for my process since the very beginning. And they are filled with just nothing but supportive and kind women. So being able to create that piece for their business, for the community, for myself, for everybody involved, they were extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful. So it's been an amazing process getting to be partnered with them during that mural project.
You incorporate psychology and emotion into your work. In what way do you do that?
Yes, so as I start each piece, I do center myself and think about where my mind is at, either at this time or in a past time, or even future minded, where I want to go with my life as in a personal way, in a bigger aspect. And I try to embody that core feeling and showcase that through my work and showcase that through that particular painting. It could be something as simple as feeling a crush for the first time. It could be something as simple as longing or sadness, happiness, wonder. So taking that core base feeling and simplifying that into what I would consider like a colorful, bold piece.
Mm-hmm. So Twilight and Bloom are the blooms representative of love?
So the bloom is representing the fascination, the wonder. That bloom is hope. It's just aspiring for that new connection, the new day, and seeing that the beauty in those aspects. So that's what I would think the bloom would represent there.
And what kind of flowers are your favorite?
Favorite flowers? Oh, wow. I love chrysanthemums. Those are probably my favorite flowers, as well as sunflowers. So yeah, those are definitely my favorite flowers at the moment. It's always changing.
And what kind of flowers do you, is it your favorite flowers that you use in your painting, or how do you decide?
Yeah, I think it's whatever flower in that particular piece that speaks to the topic at hand. I don't typically use many flowers in my paintings, but the ones that I do settle on, there's something that has a deeper meaning. I've used a flower in a piece before, a forget-me-not flower, and the piece was, focused on, that sadness of losing your past self, of losing memory. And so I try to pick, if I do use flowers in my pieces, flowers that just have a deeper meaning and represent the bigger picture.
Is there any message, or is it in the eye of the beholder in your mural?
I feel like it's in the eye of the beholder. I have a message that I intend when I do create the pieces, but I love seeing everyone's different perspectives on the pieces, because I think that's what art is all about. It's about people, how they feel and their personal experience with it and what they gain from it through their own endeavors and their own experiences and what they've lived through their life. Everybody perceives life differently, so I would expect they would see the art differently than I would.
What about when you were painting it? Did you, as you painted, and you were in that new space, did you make any changes because of that new space? Little small changes or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say internally, I definitely always try to continue to evolve. And when I did make Twilight and Bloom in particular, I did say, you know what, I'm going to continue to try to see the world in the most positive way that I can. Those that meet me, they know that I try to err on the edge of positivity. I try to always see the light in the darkness. And I think Twilight and Bloom was a reminder of that for me. So moving forward, I was like, I'm going to continue to see the world in the most positive way that I possibly can.
Is that what your mentor taught you, or is that what you are?
That's something that I feel like has always been in me from myself. And that's something that I try to learn just through my different experiences through the world.
Mm. So it's a twilight. What kind of twilight? Is it the full moon twilight? Is it a half moon twilight? What kind of twilight is it?
I would say it's full moon twilight for sure. But yeah, I think honestly it changes all the time. It's whatever speaks to me that day. Yeah, absolutely.
And you did your drawing before you transferred it over onto a mural?
Yes, absolutely. So I had the idea in my head of what I wanted to create. I drew it out on this app called Procreate, made sure I sketched it out, got approval for it, and then moved forward with the actual creation of the piece.
Mm-hmm. And where did you need the approval from?
So I talked with the cafe that I was partnered with to make sure that it aligned with their brand, who they were, and how they saw themselves. And so I wanted to make sure I represented not only myself, but represent Sunflower Cafe in the best way possible as well.
Were there a lot of other murals in the same area as well?
Yes, there are. Uptown has amazing art scene and amazing art district, but this particular project was for the Yard Walls mural project. So there are tons of other murals in the area that you can stop by and take a look at as well that are all also representing their own women-owned businesses in Uptown.
So would you consider yourself what kind of artist are you? Do you consider yourself as now? Has it changed after you did that mural?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've always been a person where I wanted to do something to help the community in any way possible. And I think after doing that public art piece, it reminded me of why I wanted to do something to help others. It's through that connection, it's through communication, it's through helping others through the community, through visualizing art in the most beautiful way possible. And I think that is the type of artist I was like, that's what I want to be for sure. So while before I could have been moving for my own intention, my own emotions, I think after creating this particular piece, I'm like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm.
And as you spoke with people as you were creating it, has that made you adjust to a different kind of way of painting now?
I would say it's given me a different perspective while I paint. I think my style's always developing, and I think that's a healthy thing to do. But I think as I got to connect with the community, I think it reaffirmed my purpose so much more, which makes, how I paint just more powerful and more impactful. So I think after having that experience, as I continue to create art, it's filled with much more love and intention behind it, which I absolutely adore.
Has the community told you about what it needs, and then have you thought about ways to incorporate your art to reflect those needs, and what kind of needs, if they have told you?
They haven't expressed anything in particular while I was creating the project, and while I did have the opportunity to talk with them of specific needs throughout the neighborhood. But I did see the need for continuing to make sure we do beautify these spaces when we have the opportunity. We do continue to uplift our neighborhood and make sure everybody is having this having a good experience and being able to walk through and feel proud of the neighborhood that they're in. So I think what we can do as visual artists is continue to create things that highlight the neighborhood, that bring people peace, bring people happiness, and showcase it in the best way possible. So I feel like after finishing this project, I've never been more proud to be a resident of Chicago, and I think I hope that continues on for all other visual artists as well.
Well, evidently your work helped transform you as well.
It did. It definitely did.
And what would you say that the message for the community is for this piece?
I would say once again to just continue to see the world in its beauty, in the darkness, in the light. Make sure you pierce through and see those small moments that you can cherish. So creating this piece, I just want you to take a moment, take a breather, see something that you love, and just appreciate it in that moment. So I'm hoping that this gives people time to slow down and just appreciate and love life.
Do you have any students or any people that you are mentoring too?
I do not at this time. I think I'm in a place where I'm still continuing to work on myself and still continuing to better my craft, where I'm like, I feel so nervous to, try to teach another person right now. I'm like, I would be shocked if they trusted me at this point to teach, but I would be honored if that opportunity became available. But I'm always still learning and evolving, and the day will come where I'm, more than happy to take on a mentee.
Are you self-taught, or did you go to art school?
I'm self-taught.
Mm-hmm. And what convinced you what was there some program? Was there some something that you saw that convinced you that this is what you want to spend most of your time doing?
Yeah, it was something that I started on a whim, which I would just like to emphasize that it's never too late to try something new, to start a new passion, and it's something that over time may continue to evolve. And I realized how much fun I was having and how much I loved it, and I wanted to continue to refine it and create something that I've never really done before, create a passion and work ethic towards it that I've never had towards anything else. So, yeah.
Did you have some other passion in the past that led into this?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I was always a very creative person. I've always been, lover for art, photography, dance, any type of, artistic practice. And I feel like once I started tapping back into this craft, I realized how much, this does align with me as a person. So, absolutely.
What about your past teachers? If they didn't teach you art, but were there any teachers that inspired you the way you are for how you are right now?
Yeah, I would say every teacher that I've come across, I've always had such an amazing experience with. They've always continued to uplift me as a person and make sure that, I know that you, once again, you can be whoever you want to be in this world and to be the best version of yourself, and things will work out in the way that they need to.
Mm. And what about conflicts when you're thinking through the image? Do you apply like a resolution to conflict into the work as well?
I would say in certain pieces, depending on the context of the piece, there are pieces that do have a little more conflict resolution in there, or a little more discourse within the piece that, some of them, they do have an answer and a lot of them don't. In a lot of my pieces, I involve a lock necklace that just, it means, someone who is having internal discourse, someone who is trying to discover themselves a little bit more. And I always said one day when that person has the answer, the necklace will be unlocked. But I don't think it ever will have the answer. I think that's just how life is. Mm-hmm.
What about colors? Do you have any favorite colors that you like to use?
Absolutely. I love using the color blue. I feel like it's such a beautiful color, but it pierces through. Very easy to work with as well. Greens, browns, all of these colors. Honestly, there's not a color that I wouldn't use. But they're all just so powerful and impactful in their own ways.
Yeah, I think Bill's favorite color is blue as well.
Oh, awesome. So glad to hear that.
So for Twilight, what is the main color of Twilight?
Yeah, so this piece I intentionally aimed to add as many colors in there as I possibly could. While the skin is blue, it has orange in there, it has pinks, it has all of these flesh purples, it has all of the colors that I would associate with a Twilight. But I intentionally did that because I want people to see the world in the most colorful way possible. So for Twilight in Bloom, I tried to add a little bit of everything.
Do you feel that the more color, the more uplifting work is?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something about color that it draws people in, which is why I choose to be, a primarily color artist. I always try to make sure like I'm incorporating either like it's all green or all blue or all purple, but I think color just really pierces through to people, and they each hold like a different type of emotion.
Are there any artists that you favor? Do you go to museums, and what do you like?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of modern day artists that I try to continue to learn and study from. One being Airporter that I mentioned earlier, amazing artist in the city. Say Morgan Nicolette is another modern artist. I think it's important to, honor the artists that are still here, which people, like I love studying art, but I think honoring the artists that are here with us now is also very important.
How are you lucky enough to get to know Airporter so that he became your mentor?
Yeah, well, we met some years ago, but he was always an amazing artist even then. And I always was completely enamored and fascinated by his skill. And I was like, I need to be, just like that. I would love to, have that ability. And so, I'm honored to have somebody to teach me the ropes and be able to help me get to the point that I'm at now.
Yeah, I guess you've seen him grow in his career, and that inspired you as well.
Absolutely, it did. Absolutely.
If our viewers want to learn more about you, Gabi Bozeman, and your art, where should they go?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at GabiBozeman, Gabi Bozeman on both TikTok and Instagram. And you can see my website, Gabi Bozeman Art, on platforms. So,
And how many works have you done already about?
Yeah, I've probably done a little over 30 pieces of work now, so it's definitely, but my portfolio is becoming a little vast now, so yes.
And about 17 shows or so?
Yes.
Oh. And all of them in Chicago, or some of them outside Chicago as well?
All
Where
in
have you been?
Chicago at the moment. I'm just trying to take in and explore the city as much as I possibly can, but hoping to continue to expand within this next year.
And what is your advice to young artists?
My advice is to never give up and don't ever limit yourself. The ceiling is non-existent. Continuing to pursue your dreams to the best of your ability, and just be the best version of yourself that you can be.
What about the some artists? They feel like, oh, there's so many obstacles. How am I going to overcome those obstacles? What do you say to that?
I would just see the obstacles as a learning lesson, and that on the other side of that obstacle, you'll be better, you'll be stronger, and you'll be more refined as an artist.
Thank you so much, Gabi Bozeman.
Thank you.